How would the Mets respond Sunday after a heartbreaking loss on Saturday? Hello and welcome into Geico Sports Night. I'm Maria Marino. Chris Williamson is on hand with our Baseball Night in New York crew to talk Mets as well as the Yankees in prime time, hoping to stay perfect against the Red Sox this season. We'll also get you some injury updates for both New York teams. But let's get right to the Mets highlights. The Mets and Steven Matz looking to take the rubber game versus the Diamondbacks. Bottom first. D-backs leadoff batter is Ketel Marte, and he crushes Matt's offering to left center and into the concourse. A 482-foot blast gets Arizona on the board first. Two batters later, it's Eduardo Escobar batting with a man on. He lifts the Mets curveball down the left field line, stays fair for the two-run homer. Another rough first inning for Mets. It's 3-0 Arizona. Meanwhile, New York struggled to figure out rookie Merrill Kelly in the fifth. 3-1 Diamondbacks. Adeiny Hechavarria struck out swinging, then Aaron Altair whiffing on the curve. In the eighth, 5-1 Arizona and Kelly rolling. Altair swings and misses. Next up, Todd Frazier, take a seat. Kelly fan 10 as the Mets fall 7-1 and drop the series. Here's a ticked off Mickey Callaway after the game.
We got to go out there and consistently get it done. You know, you beat up on Greinke a little bit, who's one of the better pitchers in the league. And then you have a night like tonight. That kind of inconsistency just is not going to win you games. And that is why we are where we are in the standings and what our record looks like right now, because we're just too inconsistent. We'll continue to work. We'll continue to come every day ready to go and learn and get better and see if we can't, we have to do better. You know, I'm kind of getting sick of saying we got to right this ship. We got to get it done.
Here's a look at the Mets pitching staff, who had a tough time on this road trip. Presented by Geico, the starters had a 3.71 ERA, and the bullpen worse, with an ERA over 11 on this trip. For more on the Mets, here's Eamon McAnaney and our MLB insider, Andy Martino.
Thanks. And Andy, the roller coaster ride for this team continues. 2 Sundays ago, we're talking about Mickey Watch after the sweep down in Miami. They get things on track with the 6-1 homestand, and now just a brutal road trip, 2-5, but with some demoralizing losses. As you assess where this team now is in early June, what is its identity?
They don't have one yet, and that's a problem. Obviously, the Mets, with their new general manager, came into the season with the win now and win later message, and that's a great message. It's culture changing, which is what Brodie Van Wagenen was trying to do when he came in, made some aggressive acquisitions, but obviously it's a results business, and the team is 28-31. They're not ready to give up on the season. They're still hoping to win. They're still hoping to be buyers rather than sellers at the deadline and all that, but the perception of this team around the league, Eamon, is who are they? Are they going to win? Are we going to be able to get a Zach Wheeler or Noah Syndergaard in July via trade? Nobody really knows who the Mets are, and the Mets aren't playing like they know who they are either. So it's a frustrating place for them to be, just going back and forth and back and forth. And at some point, the team's going to have to either pick a lane or acknowledge that it's not their year. No one wants to hear about woulda, coulda, shouldas in pro sports, but it would have been a completely different road trip if the bullpen does not implode with the big leads against the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks. Right. How does Mickey Callaway and maybe even Brodie Van Wagenen fix this bullpen? That's tough because it's a matter of personnel right now. Jeurys Familia, of course, is the big signing. Has not worked out so far. He has an ERA over 6. Robert Gesellman is a key guy. He was running on fumes, and he had nothing for the last part of this road trip. You have Diaz, who they're trying to protect. So really, there's not a lot of... The bridge to Diaz isn't great, and you can't overuse Diaz, so it's really tough to say. Even a guy like Justin Wilson, who they brought in, was a free agent signing that I for one, praised. He's hurt. He hasn't been effective, so it's tough to see how that turns around with the personnel that they have unless some guys just get right. It is what it is in terms of who's out there, and it's on Dave Eiland and, to a lesser extent, Mickey Callaway to just continue to work with these guys, help them try to figure it out. Tough trip home for the Mets after a 2-5 road trip. Now let's send it back to you.
Thanks so much, guys. So the Mets come home and play 3 with the Giants and 3 with the Rockies before they head to the Bronx for the 2 games with the Yankees. So with more on the Mets, let's bring in Chris Williamson now and the Baseball Night in New York crew.
Thanks, Maria. Time now for Baseball Night in New York with John Harper and John Jastrzemski. Fellas, we saw Steven Matz struggle in the first inning yet again. He gives up 3 runs. What exactly went wrong this time, JJ?
Well, it's a slow start. I mean, Steve Matt's done a fantastic job when you think about the way he's pitched for this team. He's gone deep into games. He had a really good start against the Los Angeles Dodgers, but those first inning struggles, it wasn't quite as bad as the start we saw, you remember, against Philadelphia, where he got knocked out and gave out 7 or 8 runs. Yeah. But it was one of those starts where after what the bullpen gave you, you almost need to go out of the gate and give you a 0-2 to get that game, within a comfort zone. He didn't do it, Harp, and it was one of those days for the Mets. This one isn't going to bother you as much as Wednesday's debacle against the Dodgers or Saturday's debacle against the Diamondbacks. But when you have those games on a road trip, you don't want to be staring that first inning deficit right in the face.
No, especially as you said, this is when you need your starter to come out and give your team a chance to pick everybody up. I think if he gets through the first few innings, that team's a lot more life, and then Kelly's not shutting them down the way he probably did. It speaks to Matt's inconsistency. You can't look the first home run you can understand behind the count 2-0. He throws a fastball, he gets hit 0-2 to Eduardo Escobar. You can't drop an 0-2 curveball there and hang it where he can hit it out. You got to be better than that. It looked like he had turned the corner mentally and everything else after that start against the Dodgers. He's got to be better. This whole staff has got to be better. The pitching still, you heard Andy Martino say they don't have an identity. The identity is supposed to be the starting pitching. It still hasn't been good enough. Well, I mean, the bullpen is the bigger problem, obviously, but the starting pitching has to lead the way if they're ever going to turn this thing around.
And obviously, Mickey Callaway was very frustrated with Steven Matz, but those games are going to happen. Now, after the game, we heard Mickey be very unusually vocal about his disappointment in the team, saying we can't have guys have the career games, when they're pitching against us, and our players are not where they need to be. Does he need to be more vocal, Harp?
Well, I like that I showed a little bit of fire. I do, because he never says anything. He's the guy who we're going to love these guys like they've never been loved before. And I thought it was, look, he sounded like a guy who's sick of watching his team, and I don't blame him. And he made it clear that he didn't think this guy Kelly was not
Corey Kluber.
I was trying to come up with the right guy. But, yeah, you're right. And so I think it's good. Look, this trip could have been a whole lot different if their bullpen had saved the games they're supposed to save. But Callaway I think he's seeing something there that this team isn't playing at the level it should be. This is as close as we've come to seeing an old-fashioned Terry Collins meltdown. I think maybe it'll get a message a little bit to the players, even though he didn't call anybody out personally. I think it's good to see.
Oh, it's beyond refreshing. I mean, you think about the way this road trip has gone. You lose a game on Wednesday night the way they did. You lose a game on Saturday the way they did. And I'm sick and tired of the coddling. I mean, at the end of the day, the Mets are a couple of games under the 500 mark. They're not one of the National League's elite-level teams, but I think because of that second wild card, you're going to be in this limbo of are the Mets in it, or are the Mets a team, like Andy was talking about 15 minutes ago, looking to sell, looking to trade off pieces. I don't know where they're at right now, but as they return home, San Francisco's a lousy team. Got to win some games. Colorado, they're right there for that second wild card. Got to win some games. And we'll see, guys, if the Mets can show a pulse against the Yankees. And you would hope one of the best teams in baseball, you're going to show a pulse.
You better, because if you don't, it's going to get real ugly. The Mets 4-17 over their last 21 road games. The good news, though, is that they have a day off, and then they take on the Giants, who have not been that impressive this year. JJ Harp, thanks so much for stopping by. Maria, let's send it back to you.
Thanks a bunch, Chris. We're just getting started here on Geico Sports Night. A fiercely competitive rivalry was lopsided in the Yankees' favor heading into Sunday. So could the Red Sox make a dent? Highlights next. Plus, an unfamiliar position for the Warriors, being down 1-0 in the NBA Finals. How would they handle it? We'll recap Game 2 coming up.
Geico Sports Night is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote.
I want it.
I can't believe it.
That car brought his karaoke machine.
Nothing but a heartache.
No, I can't believe how easy it was to save hundreds of dollars on my car insurance with Geico.
Tell me why I never wanted to say.
Go, Kevin. Go, Kevin. No.
Believe it. Geico could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Don't wait. Now is the time to move up. Move up to next-gen connectivity. Move up to advanced safety. Move up to something a little more, well, Cadillac. In XT5, XT4, and the Escalade. Current eligible non-GM lessees get this low-mileage lease on this 2019 XT4 from around $369 per month. Visit your tri-state dealer for special offers on Cadillacs driven by the pros.
I have 3 kids. I work from home. We are all on the internet at the same time.
While Adaska chose Fios.
My kids are doing homework or they're streaming videos upstairs, downstairs. How's homework going? You need help? My middle son, he likes to create videos and post them online. And while he's doing that, I'm on video chat with the client so that, mama can make some money.
The best internet is even better at our best price. Switch now and get our fastest speeds and a $200 Visa prepaid card only on Fios.
Danny had a very large cancer that was blocking his intestine. And it's only after I think we started to make some serious progress that he started to realize that he was going to live. And then he started to ask for more. He wanted then to be strong again. He wanted to be himself again. He wanted to go back to work. And that's very rewarding that we got him there.
Progress is never standing still. Performance that doesn't hold back. Found in the Audi A4.
Old Dominion puts together a winning performance with precision, a #1 ranking in claims prevention, and by going the distance to become #1 in customer satisfaction. Old Dominion, official freight carrier of Major League Baseball.
Here is LeMahieu. Line to deep right center field. On the run is Bradley, and that ball is gone. David John makes long gone. Swung on, a long drive to right center field. That ball is high, it is far, it is gone. Gary Sanchez goes the opposite way into the Yankee bullpen, and the Yankees take a 5-3 lead.
For the first time since 2012, the Yankees were 4-0 to start their season series with the Red Sox. Meanwhile, the Yanks' 9.5-game lead was also the Red Sox' biggest deficit in the AL East since 2015. It was already 9 straight series wins for the Yanks, but could they win their 4th straight game? Yankees looking to bust out the brooms against the Red Sox. CC Sabathia making his return from the injured list. Top of the first, J.D. Martinez takes Sabathia deep to left for a home run. Martinez is 12th of the year. Yankees trail 1-0. Top of the 4th, Yankees down 2-0. Xander Bogaerts clobbers one to left for another home run. Bogaerts is 12th of the year, makes it 3-zip Red Sox. Sabathia allows 3 runs in 6 innings, strikes out 8. Top of the 7th, Yankees trail 3-2. Eduardo Nunez singles to right. The ball goes under the glove of Clint Frazier. Michael Chavis scores from first, and Nunez advances to third on Frazier's error. Red Sox added 2 more runs to make it 6-2. Yankees threatening in the 7th, 2-on, 2-out. Brett Gardner hot shot to first, snagged by Michael Chavis, who races to the bag for the out. Yankees lose 8-5. Here's Aaron Boone on CC.
Thought pretty good. Really good compete, made pitches. Mistake to Bogaerts, where he didn't obviously get that pitch where he wanted. I thought JD actually hit a good pitch. Looked like he just put a great swing where he pulled his hand and was able to keep that ball fair. Was efficient. Got us through 6 innings with a chance there. So good to see him back out there and competing the way he did. I thought he made a lot of pitches.
A closer look at the AL East standings here, and the Yankees now have an 8.5-game lead on the Red Sox and are up 2.5 games on the Rays for the division lead. For more Yanks talk, let's send it back over to Chris and the Baseball Night in New York crew.
Thanks, Maria. Time now for more Baseball Night in New York with JJ and John Harper. So, fellas, CC struggled. Well, he didn't struggle, but it wasn't his best outing. Gives up 3 runs in 6 innings. Is CC Harper somebody that the Yankees can count on?
Well, I think he is. I mean, I think it's not, all things considered, his first time back, not bad. I think they'll take 6 innings, 3 runs from him just about any time. He's not going to be a guy who gives you length anymore. And listen, he's a guy somehow with the cutter and the slider, he induces a lot of soft contact. Not a lot of balls hit hard. A couple home runs you saw in this game, but as long as he doesn't have to be their ace. You know, he's just a depth guy now for them in this rotation. So I think he's fine. For them, it's a matter of when they get to October, do they have the aces lined up to win a playoff series?
Well, I think that's it, Harp. For the regular season, CC Sabathia is perfect. He's going to go out. He's going to compete. You're going to take 6 innings of 3-run baseball anytime he toes the rubber, more often than not, because you think about the Yankee bats, you think about the Yankee bullpen. I just think when it comes to CC Sabathia and you're thinking about October, this is no longer the guy we saw in 2009 or saw in 2012. You even think back to last year and CC starting a game in the postseason. That is something I would not do, and that's why you'll see the Yankees, I think, at some point in time, address the starting pitching when it comes to a trade over the next couple weeks. But look for CC Harper. I know you remember this well. David Cohn coming out of the bullpen. What was it, Game 4 of the 2000 World Series?
That's
Would
right.
it surprise you if CC came out of the bullpen and had a big moment?
Well, they didn't have this kind of pen that they have now, so that would surprise me because this pen is so loaded.
Big lefty,
but
though.
You never know. Maybe
happen.
come out and get a lefty. You never know.
All right, so big picture now. The Yanks do fall to the Red Sox, but that was kind of expected that they weren't going to sweep them. Are the Yanks the team to beat in the AL East right now, JJ?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I've said it for a while with this Yankee team. They're just the most complete team within the division. Their bullpen is just unbelievably talented. They're going to get Dellin Betances back. And think about how relentless this lineup is with LeMahieu, with Luke Voigt, who's playing like an all-star first baseman, the resurgence of Gary Sanchez. And, oh, by the way, they got guys by the name of Judge, Stanton, and Gregorius coming back. Harp, this team to beat in the AL.
Absolutely. And they got a great vibe now because they've had all these wins now with guys that have come up and, filled in for the injured players. So I think you said it. They're just the most complete team. The bullpen gives them the huge advantage on the Red Sox. I think the Red Sox have a run in them. But listen, the Rays are for real. I think it's going to be a race to the end. But I do think the Yankees, there's so many bad teams in the American League, they're not going to go into any kind of extended slump, which is, I think, what it would take for the Red Sox to have a real chance to catch them.
Now, for the Yankees, when they do get back, Didi, Stanton, Judge, it's going to be one hell of a scary lineup. Don't you guys agree?
Oh, for sure. Good problems for Aaron Boone, right?
Very
Chris?
good problems. Very good problems. JJ, Harper, always great stuff. Maria, let's send it back to you, my friend.
Thank you, my friend. A lot still to do on Geico Sports Night. Has the Jets interim GM pinpointed who the next permanent GM of the team should be? And we'll head north of the border with the Warriors trying to even things up with the Raptors in the NBA Finals. That's right after this.
Change has many faces. Names you'll never know. The bright-eyed, the brave, the visionaries. Where challenges exist, you'll find them. At Citi, we empower people who are out to change the world. Because tomorrow belongs to those who welcome it with open arms. Citi, welcome what's next.
The finals. Can they be more exciting with DraftKings Sportsbook? Yeah! Get skin in the game with a deposit bonus up to $200 and sweat every point. We're talking headband, wristband, and backband level sweat. Enjoy thousands of ways to bet and turn up the heat. During the finals, all DraftKings Sportsbook bettors get a deposit bonus up to $200. DraftKings. Download the app now.
The average insurer thinks businesses are alike, but Hiscox knows each business is as unique as a fingerprint and tailors its policies to each small business's very specific needs. Hiscox, business insurance experts.
You respect strong values in people and price tags. Good on you. This Father's Day, shop our lowest price of the season with 60% off designer sport coats, designer suits, and all casual wear. Now through Sunday, shop online and in-store, only at Men's Warehouse.
With Verizon Up, we won Luke Bryan tickets. It was amazing.
Why Myrna chose Verizon.
So we are walking through the crowd. You know, you have your badge and you're just, all you got to do is wave it up. We're like, okay, these are pretty neat seats. I wouldn't mind sitting here. But he's like, nope, we're still going. They took us all the way to the front. There's an area sealed off just for Verizon Up members. It made me feel like a celebrity.
The network more people rely on gives you more. Like VIP concert tickets on us. And big savings on our best phones when you switch. That's Verizon.
Get new floors during Empire Today's gigantic 75% off sale. That's carpet, laminate, and even hardwood 75% off. Empire makes getting beautiful new floors easy. See samples in your home, get a free estimate, and have your floors professionally installed. Update your floors with Empire and get 75% off carpet, laminate, and hardwood. Schedule now.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today. The storylines that have the New York sports culture buzzing through the lens of social media reaction.
Let's get the conversation started.
The Threat, presented by Citi. Weekdays at 5, only on SNY.
Warriors at Raptors, Game 2 NBA Finals. Kawhi Leonard at Toronto trying to go up 2-zip in the series second quarter. Raptors up 9. Leonard with the nice reverse layup gets the foul. Toronto led by as many as 12 in the first half, but the Warriors came to play in the third quarter. DeMarcus Cousins finds the cutting Klay Thompson for the layup. Part of an 18-0 Golden State run. What? Late third, Warriors up 7. Steph Curry with a long 3. Good. Curry finished with 23 points. 30 seconds left. Raptors down 106-101. Danny Green knocks down the 3. Toronto within 2. Warriors using some clock on the next possession. Sean Livingston passes to Andre Iguodala. He drains the 3 with 7 seconds left. Warriors win 109-104. Tie that series up at 1 apiece. Over to football. Eagles VP of Player Personnel Joe Douglas had dinner with the Jets Saturday, followed by an interview for their general manager vacancy Sunday. For more on his candidacy, here's our NFL insider, Ralph Vacchiano.
Joe Douglas, the Eagles Vice President of Player Personnel, who wrapped up his interview with the Jets on Sunday, remains the favorite to become the new general manager of the Jets when their search is completed, possibly sometime by the end of this week. Now, there's still a lot of concern around the league about how the Jets have handled this mess. Their clumsy firing of Mike McCagnon, the apparent power play by new coach Adam Gase. But there's also a feeling from a lot of the sources I've talked to that when this is over, if the Jets do land on Douglas, they could actually stumble into a really good situation. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One is that Douglas has been thought of for a long time as a young, up-and-coming general manager candidate. He's done wonders working with the Philadelphia Eagles, obviously, who have been up near the top of the league over the last few years. And he's someone that everyone expected would be a top candidate in the next hiring cycle of general managers. The other reason why this could be a good thing is he obviously has a relationship with Gase, which is why he's the favorite to land this job. And that's a huge thing. The Jets over the last decade or so have really had dysfunctional, forced marriages between their general manager and their coach. They haven't had two guys who were absolutely on the same page, thinking alike, where the GM knew what players the coach liked, where the coach completely trusted the GM to do his job. This could be that situation. Gase and Douglas are close. That's the whole point of this. If the Jets can get their front office working with their coaching staff, and if Douglas is the guy, they really could end up in a better situation than they've had in many years.
The Mets will be seeing a lot more Jay Bruce in their future as the Mariners and Phillies agreed to a trade that will bring him to Philadelphia. Bruce has 14 homers this season, but is only batting .212. Bruce expected to join the Phillies in San Diego Monday. Phillies and Dodgers from L.A. Scoreless in the bottom of the 7th, David Freese at the plate. He drives the Vince Velasquez pitch to right center, and it sneaks over the wall. The solo shot gets the Dodgers on the board first. Then in the 8th, Dodgers with runners on the corners. Alex Verdugo singles through the right side, scoring Max Muncy. It's 2-zip Los Angeles later in the inning. Now 6-0 Dodgers. Jock Peterson adds to it with a deep shot to left center for a 2-run homer. Dodgers score 7 in the frame and get the 8-zip victory. Let's take a look at the NL East standings, and after the Mets went 2-5 on this road trip, they still only find themselves 5 games out of the division lead, trailing both the Phillies and Braves. Still to come on Geico Sports Night, we'll get you the latest on the injury front for the Mets' Robinson Cano, the Yanks' Aaron Judge, and more. Stick around.
Geico Sports Night is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote.
Thanks for the ride along, Captain. I've never been in one of these before, even though Geico is... here we go. Here we go.
You got cut off there. What were you saying?
No.
Maybe that Geico's been proudly serving the military for over 75 years? Is that what you wanted to say?
Mm-hmm.
I have to say, you seem a lot chattier on TV.
Geico, proudly serving the military for over 75 years.
You okay back there, buddy?
The Range Rover Evoque with ClearSight rear view mirror. Land Rover, above and beyond.
If you want just a little entertainment, try playing board games with a professional wrestler.
Oh, sorry, Cyclone King. You lose a turn. Oh, I got a 6. Yay!
If you want entertainment that lasts more than an instant, try a cashword scratch-off from the New York Lottery.
I've got lilac! Yeah! Yeah!
1 letter away from frog!
Tonsil! Troopers!
We got it! Frog!
Yeah. Play a cashword scratch-off today. You could win up to $1 million.
I gained 53 pounds.
Did she say gain weight?
I gained 53 pounds with CB1 Weight Gainer.
That's right. Introducing CB1 Weight Gainer, the weight gain pill.
I've been skinny most of my life.
CB1 Weight Gainer totally changed my life.
CB1 Weight Gainer is a safe, effective, and patented weight gain pill.
I searched and searched online, and I finally found CB1 Weight Gainer. It took me only 3 months to gain 30 pounds.
I went from 150 to 175 in just 3 months.
All in all, I gained 53 pounds, and I'm super pumped.
I look and feel better than ever.
Gain the weight you want or your money back guaranteed. Order today and we'll include the exclusive Weight Gain Guidebook, a $19.99 value free. Call now and we'll also upgrade your order to rush processing, a $6.99 value absolutely free. That's right, save over $25 when you call or visit cb1weightgainer.com now.
SNY Play Ball, presented by Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, is back. Teaming up with the New York Jets, we're looking to help local football leagues with grants.
When you talk about giving $5,000 to a program, it's a game changer.
Equipment donations.
Thank you for helping our organization.
Clinics.
Today was amazing.
And special Dream Day experiences.
How long do you think you'll remember this?
Probably forever.
Does your league need assistance? Apply today at sny.tv/playball. Hey parents, your child could join Gary, Keith, and Ron in the booth to call half an inning of a Mets game on SNY. Just go to sny.tv/Kidcaster to submit your child's video entry to compete to win the 2019 SNY Kidcaster Contest, presented by RPM Raceway.
The Keuchel and Kimbrel sweepstakes may be close to over, as the top 2 free agents on the market can sign starting Monday without their new teams having to forfeit amateur draft picks as compensation. The Yankees have been rumored to be the favorite to land Dallas Keuchel, and the Mets could use the help in their bullpen from someone like Craig Kimbrel. Manager Mickey Callaway said the Mets will not activate Robinson Cano until Tuesday at the earliest, when the team opens a series at Citi Field against the Giants. Cano has been on the IL since May 22nd with a quad injury he suffered running out a ground ball. Speaking of players inching closer to a return, Aaron Judge took the next step in his rehab and hit in the indoor cages at Yankee Stadium Sunday. He'll head to Tampa as he ramps up his baseball activities in anticipation of eventual rehab games. Joining Judge in Tampa will be right-hander Dellin Betances and first baseman Greg Bird. Per The Athletic's Lindsay Adler, Bird is still feeling pain in his injured foot, but has been running on an anti-gravity treadmill and hitting off a tee. Aaron Boone also said Troy Tulowitzki is, quote, pretty much over his injury. The MLB draft starts Monday night as the Yankees and Mets will look for the next Aaron Judge or Pete Alonso. But one former Met pitcher and current front office exec will be paying extra attention this year as Al Leiter's son, Jack Leiter, is projected to go in the first round. Jack Leiter, who's currently a star pitcher at Del Barton High School in New Jersey, is a projected first-round talent, and both the Mets and Yankees would love to have him. That's all for Geico Sports Night. I'm Maria Marino. Thanks for watching. Have a great Monday.